Kate, one thing you said earlier about the within and without, that this is so beautiful as I've seen it, how, every to a man, everyone I talked to before I went in, all the people that I valued, their opinion, said, don't go into court, don't go into court, don't go into court, don't go into court, don't go into court. And the only people that said go was me, because I wanted to go because I'd made some commitments and I was willing to try this, and you. And it's so funny because I went, and it's like this all had to be, and it was like when I went in there, they were all right. Everybody that said don't go, don't go, don't go was right, because I was entering their game. However, because even though it was a comedy of errors and a circumstantial folly, what happened there, and the comments about it was from people that were there in the courtroom that were attorneys, bizarre, never seen this before, and people at the jail saying, I've been here 18 years and never have I seen a judge issue an order or sign an order for a competency evaluation. Never. So from those points, but in that complete comedy of error, yet I was entering their game, but when they put me in prison without bail or bond in order to scare me, and because they didn't know what to do with me, and then further tried to scare me with the incompetency and possible 99 years put away because that was the open-ended sentence and on, and that failed. Well, at that point, now they have to bring me back for a hearing into court in chains against my free will. Well, I was struggling to try to come to grips with, does that make it my game? Because I was treating it that way, baby. I said, you're dragging a living man into this court. Let's play, just like Kate said. And lo and behold, I get in there and there's nothing to play with. It's just puppy dogs there, little kittens.
You had the reign.
And it was just amazing. I mean, they were falling all over themselves. I still laugh and thinking about it. It's like I was sitting there at the table in front of the judge laughing. It's like, I mean, all I could do to hold back the laughter while they're playing and fumbling around trying to figure out.
Well, Michael,
I got to tell you,
during that last couple of conversations we had, one of the things that was very clear to me, it wasn't going to matter what I was going to say with regard, and I don't give advice to anyone. I never do. What I do share is an experience, and there's only one thing that I will never stand in the way of, because that is the true trespass of free will choice. I will never stand in the way of someone following their heart. And that's the only reason why when we talked, I said, you can go or you don't have to. But if you want to, and I know the reasons, it's not for you, and I knew that. I said, I knew that you were following, and no one was going to tell Michael McLean shit on this one. Ask Kathy, she'll tell you that when you set it upon yourself to follow your heart, nothing stops you. And I'll be the last one in the universe to say I'm going to get in the way of that. And that was exactly the point at which I will always yield. If this is your heart, you follow it because your heart knows your experience far better than I ever could. I'm just an observer here. And lo and behold, you followed your heart. They came at you with everything that they thought could scare you, and you knew it was a bluff, and you knew this within your heart. And you stood, and like I said, one stands, thousands fell before you. You moved mountains. And that's what truth does.
And that's a virtue of yours, Kate. I will say that is a virtue of yours, that you do give your, what you would do in a given circumstance, but you do not try to tell others what to do. And I do appreciate that, because you and I had that conversation back on doing my little
we had many heated conversations on it, too.
Oh, yeah, they got a little...
we had a good
fun,
time.
Of course.
But I'll be damned if I'm going to stand in the way of Steve Mahon. Are you nuts? There's another Michael McLean. Steve Mahon, Michael McLean. No, I'm not standing in the way of those carts. Are you kidding me?
But Michael did so much more than I accomplished. But at the time, 2 years ago, when this process started with me, I was just coming into my own knowledge of what was going on too. But I knew that I did not engage, did not want to engage, and I knew that, and I wanted to see this for myself, whether they would have.
Stephen, my favorite line that came out of the allegorical Jesus' mouth, and it's the one I love, and both you and Michael and so many others have already proven this, and you shall do greater things than I. And you have.
Yeah.
Look at you go.
Well, look at what Michael did.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, and guess what, Michael? And someone is going to do greater things than you. And this is the joy.
Yes.
It's like, let's find who that is, and let's get them to do greater things than what we've done. And then we can do greater things than they've done. We keep this going, and the whole system just crushes before you.
We're doing a Blue Angels jet flyover right now.
Yeah.
There you go. Now let's go in retrospect here. I go back to my 28 days, and based on how I got them to yield to make me be silent, now we take it to the next level. The greater thing than I that was done was what Steve did, and then the greater thing than what Steve did is what Michael has done. So it only gets better from here, boys and girls.
Yeah. And by the way, wait till the boys and girls start showing up. We've been seeing that with White, and Steve was telling me about an 8-year-old that was on the other night, and wow, I can't.
Ted and Christian.
Young Ted, Christian, Ethan has been on, and Trinity, and others. Of course, you got Janet's grandkids, Lynn's grandkids, and the real goal here is to get those beautiful screaming children on the air, and let's hear what your hearts want. Let's, put everything aside and start dreaming.